Good morning, world. This is Ivan O'Mara. Hope you guys enjoyed my show I made yesterday. Today I'm off. I don't work today, yeah. I'm off tomorrow too. I work Wednesday at Denty's, right? Yeah. In a good 15 minutes, I'm gonna go upstairs and get my coffee. They're making coffee, so. You just woke up, Ivan? Yeah, I just woke up. It's 9 o'clock right now, so I just woke up. Yeah. I left my electric bike outside and it rained. I think all night it rained. So I'm gonna put my bike back in the garage when I get my beer and smokes after this video, right? Yeah. So Ivan, Skysis will blow hollow water. Yes, Skysis will blow hollow out of the water. Looking at a better company than Hollywood, man. Yeah, man. There's a reason why all the Zane stars are gonna beg because my company's better than Hollywood. It's like Incredibles, guys, man. Like Incredibles, yeah. It's like Incredibles. Me and VJ, we own like a $900 million house. Imagine partying up in a $900 million house, man. That's something unheard of, man. That's like Incredibles, yeah. Something unheard of. Some Sarah. Yeah, man. And I pay them way more than what they make in Hollywood. So Ivan, the amount of money you're paying the Zane stars are not worth that? No. The truth is, what I'm paying those guys, they're not even worth that. They're worth a bit less. Because my company is better than Hollywood and they're in an Ivan movie, their value goes up. Because they're in an Ivan movie. That's why I'm paying them more. Like John Boyega knows he's not worth $23 million. John Boyega's worth maybe his 3, 4, 5 for my movie for his combined earnings around there. 5.5 million maybe. But I'm paying him more. That way he works harder for me and my company's better in Hollywood. And because he's in an Ivan movie, his value goes up. Because he's in an Ivan movie. That's why I'm paying them more than what they make in Hollywood. But John Boyega's not worth $23 million. He knows it. But I'm paying him more. That way he works hard for me, right? Yeah. He destroys the role. And he's not pissed off, man. Considering you're making your billion, he's got to pay him the big bucks. The way John Boyega works hard, obviously. And he's pretty big too, obviously, right? Yeah. You pay them more, even that way they work harder for you. If you want John Boyega to completely destroy the role and make your movie better, obviously you pay him the big bucks. That way he works harder for you, John Boyega. But if his agent gets greedy and wants more money, I'm not paying John more money, man. I didn't know else that, man. How about you know, John, man? Stop being greedy, man. You get 9. Yeah, he's greedy. John Boyega, yeah, man, he's greedy. He's a greedy pig. I know what else that, man. I'm like, no, John, you're getting greedy. You get 9, man. You're not worth 12, man. Like, I'm not gonna overpay you. Ivan is nothing. I'm like, John, I'm not gonna pay you 12. I have to watch it for my budget. I'm not gonna overpay you and have you dupe me, man. 9 million is good enough for you. You didn't make this for Star Wars. And you get your 8.5 or your 10 if you're worth like your 18, 20 million. 70. If he's worth 17 million in like 8 years from now, whatever it is, he gets his 10 million. That's already 19 million. And he gets $1 million for his speaking, that's 20. And he gets like his 2 million for the game, that's 22. And he gets his 250K for the promos. So you signed about a 22.5, 23 million deal around there. You know, man, master contract. It's still man, yeah. He signs that contract, yeah. It's a deal, man. You know what I'm saying? His British accent. It's a deal, man. Yeah. Yeah. Von Jose's agent might get cocky and greedy. Ivan, what about 7 million for Von Jose? I'm like, no. Von Jose gets 4. He's not getting more than 4. He's not worth any more than 4. He's a B as actor. I'm not gonna pay him 7. He's not worth that, man. And he gets 5.5 million of the film profits. Yeah, because Von Jose is not that big. He's only worth like his $1-2 million. So paying like 5.5 million of the film profits, that's a good enough deal for him. And he gets his speaking fee money. He gets $250K for the promos. 1.5 million for the game. He signed his like 12 million deal, 11.5 12 million deal, which is an A-lister contract. That's how much Liam Neeson makes in Hollywood. So Von Jose signed a mega deal, 12 million deal. He's like, holy shit. He said, I'm not even worth this. I know, but I want you to work harder for me, Von Jose. And the Hollywood actors, their value goes up when they're in my movie. Because they're in an Ivan movie, it's worldwide fame, obviously. They're gonna make my movie better, hence why their value goes up. But even though their value goes up in my movie, I'm still overpaying them. As what I'm paying the Xanus stars, they're not worth that. They're worth a little bit less than what I'm paying them, but I'm willing to pay them more the way they work harder for me. Von Jose is not worth a $12 million deal. He knows it. But I'm paying him that the way he works hard for me, and he's not pissed off. Even his agent will be shocked. Holy shit, man! Like Von Jose signed a massive deal, like 11.5 $12 million deal. That's how much A-listers is making in Hollywood. Yes, that way Von Jose gets paid and he works hard for me, man. He works really hard for me. It's a deal, Ivan. You know, he signs that contract with Von Jose, yeah. He's like, holy shit, like a $12 million deal. Ivan, I'll never make this in Hollywood, man. How I negotiate for my $700K, yeah. You make your 11.5 $12 million for my movie. That's why he's shocked. And he'll accept my deal, Ivan. It's I don't even make this in Hollywood, yeah. Von Jose signs his contract. Yeah. That's like Peter my time, Ivan, you're crazy, man. You're overpaying all your actors, man. They're not even worth this, Ivan. Ivan, they're not worth your royalties. What is wrong with you, Ivan? I'm like, Peter, man, stop being greedy. No, man, like, give them a piece of the royalties over there hard for me, man. Considering you sign your huge deal, and me and VJ are gonna make our billions, man. It doesn't hurt to pay them a lot of money. They were hard for us, Peter. Stop being blind by your grief in the movies, I'm sorry. Yeah, but Ivan, like, you're the main event. Why give them a piece of your royalties? Like, their base is good enough, Ivan. They don't make this in Hollywood. I'm like, Peter, stop being greedy, man. Blind by your greed, man. Pay the actors a piece of the roles. They work hard for us, Peter. They share in the wealth. They work harder for us. I know I'm doing. Yeah, if you have the actors share in the wealth, they're gonna work harder for you. Yes, Peter. They're gonna work harder for you, Peter. I'm sorry. They're gonna work harder for you. Yeah. Sarah. They're gonna work harder for you. So Peter might tell you you're crazy. Yeah, he's Ivan. Like, you're overpaying all your actors, man. Like this is way too much money, man. You're overpaying all your stars. I'm like, Peter, I'm paying them more because my company's better in Hollywood. I can afford to pay them more. Yeah, like, Peter, do you want them to work harder for you? You want a better performance? Yeah, Ivan, then pay them. Yeah, then pay them more money. I know what I'm doing. Even if I paid them their base, I didn't give the royalties, they still work their ass off for me because they don't make that in Hollywood. But they won't work as hard because they're all going to have that thought, man, like, even though we're making a lot of money, it'd be nice to share the gold with Ivan. And that's why you share a bit of the gold with the stars. But if their agents get greedy and you want more money, I'm not going to pay them more. If John Boyega's agent wants $20 million, I'm not going to pay John Boyega $20 million. He's not worth that. He gets his 8.5 to 10. I'm not paying him any more than 10. So I'm saying, I told him knows that, man. I'm like, no, John, you get 8.5 to 10. I'm not paying you 20, man. You're getting greedy. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, Idris Elba might want 20. Idris Elba is worth like his 20, but because he doesn't contribute as much to the role, because he's more of a minor character in my story, I'm not going to pay him 20, 18, 20, because he's only in the prologue and the end of Volume 3. So you pay him his rich 12, but for his role, I won't pay him any more than 11. Obviously. Idris Elba signed like a $29 million deal, man. He signed a mega deal, yeah. That's good enough for him. That's a lot of money for being in a more minor character in your story, right? He's the main character of the prologue, which is like 40 minutes of the movie. You don't see him until Volume 3. And in Volume 3, he has maybe a 10-minute scene, 15-minute scene, some sorry. That's why I'm not going to pay him more than 11. It was Agent Ivan. What about 20 for Idris Elba? I'm like, no, Ivan, he's big. I know Idris Elba's pretty big, but he's not worth 20 for Ivan because he doesn't contribute as much to the roles. And so I'm not paying him more than 11. He still signs like 28, 29 million deal. It's a massive contract. You pay him like his 2.5 million for the game, 2.6 million for the game. You can give him his $1.2 million for the merch. I just help him. You sound like a 28, 29 million deal for the Xanus movie. So I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, he gets paid. 29 million in Canadian is a good like 14, 15 million in pounds. Idris Elba lives in England, so Idris Elba signed like a 29 million deal Canadian, which is like 15 million in his pounds, English pounds. Idris Elba doesn't make 29 million in Hollywood. He makes his like 8, 7, 6 in Hollywood on average, right? That's how much he makes. Maybe 8. Idris Elba gonna negotiate maybe is 8 in Hollywood. 10 if he's very, very lucky. But Idris Elba does not make more than 10 in Hollywood. Because he's a small A, so he probably makes his 8, his 7 around there on average. He makes. That's how much small A's just make in Hollywood on average, right? They're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in Hollywood. And sometimes when they're lucky, they can make more than 10, but usually they make less than that. There are exceptions when small A's can make their 10 too, obviously. They're 10, 12, but it's tougher for them because they're not as big as the bigger guys. The bigger guys make their 10 plus easy. The smaller guys make less on average, right? The small A-listers. That's why I'm paying Edge up a lot of money. But it works hard for me. Yeah. So, sorry? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how much money do you think you make off your book? I don't know, 14 to like maybe 28 billion around there I make off my book. The 10 to 20 is highly unlikely. It's most likely like 14 to 28 billion around there I make off my book. If I sell a billion copies, I'll make my 20 plus billion, my 25, 26, 27 billion off the book. 28 billion off the book if I sell a billion copies. If I sell 700 million copies, I'll make my 19, close to 20. 800 million, I make maybe my 21, 22. 925. And a billion, I make like maybe 28 billion off the book. I think it's more than that 14 to 28 billion range I make off the book. But I might sell maybe 700 million copies and make my 19 billion off the book. Obviously. And I'll make Xanus for 2.7, 2.6 billion. If I make 19, I'll make Xanus for 2.6 billion. 866 million per volume for Peter Jackson. It's a good deal for Peter Jackson's movie or Mel Gibson's movie, right? That way you get him on the budget for the movie. Yeah. When you hire an acting coach, yes, I will. Because I'm not that great of a skilled actor, I'm gonna have to hire an acting coach to help me out. Because I really want to have a good performance for Zanes. I don't want to be a shitty actor, honestly. Because all those Hollywood actors are more skilled than me as an actor. Like I have more iconicness. I steal the show, but in terms of the method skill of the acting, they're better than me. Most of the Hollywood actors are better actors than me in terms of skill, right? They're more skilled than me, but they're not as iconic as me. I steal the show. I have a presence on the screen, but they're better skilled actors than me. But they're not as amazing to watch. There's a difference between skilled actors and iconic actors, right? There are actors who are amazing to watch. It's raining, guys. And there are actors who are more skilled, but they're not as amazing to watch. Like Dwayne Johnson's a perfect example, right? He's not that skilled of an actor. He's pretty skilled. He got better over the years, but a lot of actors now are better than him in terms of skill. But he steals the show more than most of the actors. He's more amazing to watch. There's a reason why he gets paid the big bucks, because he's very iconic. He's amazing to watch, Dwayne Johnson. So I'm saying, yeah, that's my point. That's why I might have to hire an acting coach, or I can have VJ teach me. VJ is pretty skilled acting. VJ's not the best skilled actor either. A lot of actors in Hollywood are better than her in terms of skill, but she's iconic. She steals the show when you watch her, right? Like in Eye Candy, she stole the show. And that's how I found out about her. Yeah, that's how I found out about VJ. Like, who the fuck is this chick? This chick is hot. There's something unique about this chick, and she became my celebrity crush immediately. I now know why I was drawn to her, because she's my wife. That's why I was drawn to her, yeah. 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 Why, I Scars will really be like Incredibles? Yes, guys, it's like Incredibles, man. I have a Grand Turismo Stu lot. I have my $900 million house. I have my $400 million jet that the actors are flying on. Yeah. I have my $100 million yacht where I do my table reads and parties. It's like Incredibles, man. Staying at luxury hotel suites. Yeah. Go watch the movie Sing 2. Remember the Sing 2, they auditioned to that big theater company, whatever it is. Yeah, I think something like that for my comedy, man. I have a high-end comedy like that, man. And Sing 2, all you guys you saw Sing 2, yeah, like a high-end comedy like that. The actors stay in suites. The comedy blows out of the water. And man, that's why all the Zane stars are all gonna beg, man. Guys, man, I'm not king around, man. Can you please be sorry, man? I don't want to go back to Hollywood, but no, guys. You're not good for the great St. Henry's. Like I'm saying that, I'm sorry. You're not good. Yeah. It's raining, guys. Hope the rain stops. And my electric bike is outside. I left it outside, yeah. And my coffee's ready, guys. My goal is just to get a coffee. Back in a sec. Excuse me, we don't only laugh a lot. Don't hate me with that. What are you guys doing this show? It's raining outside. Excuse your noise. Oh, you guys are back. Sorry for the long wait. Excuse the noise. It's raining outside. Yeah. So the Zany Stars will be excited for your movie. Ivan, yeah, they will, man. The Zany Stars will be excited. I will be. Once they get the call, you're casted for the role, and the jet picks like all the England guys in England and the American guys in Los Angeles, and they fly on a private jet. They're like, holy shit, Ivan's gonna be top notch, and they're all gonna make videos. Yeah, I'm heading to Vancouver. I'm about to sign my contract. You're gonna see Idris Elba, John Boyega, and all them. Ariana Grande, they make videos. Yeah, we're about to sign our contracts for the movie. excited, yeah. And my second is, we'll tell their agents, make sure the actors bring their SIN number and their bank form, their direct deposit bank form, right? You know the direct deposit bank form, you have to bring that. As for my company, I pay you direct deposit. I don't pay you check. You have to bring your agent's bank form too, and your agent's SIN number too. Obviously. Will you fly the agents in with the actors? Maybe, but it's just going to cost you more money. It's best that the agents are they're on the phone, on speaker, when they're negotiating on the actor's behalf. It's cheaper that way. Or you can fly the agents with the actors. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's most likely going to be through the phone. That's why the actors also have to bring their agent's form too. Their agent's bank form and their agent's SIN number. They have to bring that. Because the agents have to get paid too, right? The agents take their 10-50% of the actor's earnings. They have to get paid, hence why, yeah. And they're going to be negotiating on the actor's behalf. But me, VJ, and Petey will give our... what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the agents, I'm going to ask the agents, okay, how much do you think Yvonne Joje is worth for this movie contract? And they give an offer, and I counter the offer with my payment structure. That's how it works. And the agents are going to do their very best to make sure the actors get paid more money, but I'm not going to overpay these actors and have them do me. I'm sorry. And once they sign their contracts in my boardroom, me, VJ, Peter, and Motor will take on the 17th. We take them out to dinner. The stars, Zane stars, out to Boston Pizza. They eat a nice dinner. They party at my 900 house. I'm sorry. Yeah. And once I sign them, once we go in the limo and we go to Boston Pizza, that's when a lot of people in the city are going to be pulling out their phones and taking out those pictures because they know I have the keys. Me and VJ have the keys. They know we signed the stars. And while we're eating in the restaurant, a lot of people are going to be taking out phones, videos, and pictures of me eating out the stars. That's trending, all trending on X. Yeah. And they party out my knowledge in their house. And once they go home, and you get the casting announcement, John Boyega is chosen for Tessitones, Yvonne Joje is chosen for Papari, Edris Alba is chosen for Takis the First. You know what I'm saying? Carl Urban is chosen for Cornelius. You know what I'm saying? You get the news. The whole world now knows I signed the stars. And that's when wherever the actors go, fans are going to be taking bills and pictures of them. It's crazy. And they're trending. There's the main event trending on X. They trend when I'm hanging out with them in Vancouver, but when they're in their hometown training, they're also trending. And fans are going to be interviewing them with their phones. It's crazy, man. Like, holy shit, man, this fame is crazy. Yeah, they're posting stuff on social media. The whole world's tuning into their social media. Yeah, so picture crazy fame, but it's random people with phones. They interview John Boyega, they interview Yvonne Joje down the street. It's crazy, man. That's why they're like, holy shit, man, this fame is crazy, man. Wherever I go, people are taking videos and pictures of me now. I'm trending on X. I'm part of the main event for Xanus Movie. Yes, they are, because they signed, the whole world now knows they signed their contracts and they're chosen for the movie. Yeah. That's why they're going to beg, because they never experienced fame like that before. Yes, these Hollywood actors are famous, but they're not. They never experienced that kind of fame before, right? Whereby you have the whole world going crazy. They never experienced that kind of fame before. They feel on top of the world. That's why they're going to beg, because they know when they go back to Hollywood, they're going to be left behind in side tension. Samsara? Yeah. Like, you're gonna see trending pictures of John Boyega. Like, you see, like, John Boyega walks downtown in England, whatever it is, him and Edris Alba and Xanus. Chances are they're gonna hang out, right? In England sometimes, and the fans are gonna be taking videos and pictures of just trending on X. And a lot of fans will be coming up to them with their phones and interviewing them. Oh my god, John, like, you're chosen for the movie. How does it feel? Yeah, it feels good. They interview him and it's trying, some of it's trying on X, man. They're like, holy shit, this fame is crazy, man. Wherever we go, people take reels and pictures of us, man. Like this is an adrenaline rush. Yeah, I know. It's a good feeling, man, to be saved. Be part of the bus of life, it's a good feeling, yeah. I'm not talking about just a few people taking pictures. No, the whole city, man. Like 500 people taking out their phones and they're taking bills and pictures of John Mega as John and Annie Circus in England, wherever they go. They're like, this is crazy, man. Yeah, the fame is crazy, man. It's worldwide fame. That's why you guys feel like shit. You're left behind. You're not saved. There you go. Some Sarah. Will people take pictures of the crewmen? Yeah, they will, but not as much as the actors, right? The main buzz is with like the 7 team and the actors and Peter and all. That's where the main buzz is. But even some people are going to take pictures of the crewmen building the sets and all stuff. The sets. Well, a lot of the sets we build in the middle of nowhere, but the crewmen, the Lord of the Rings Harbor crewmen are going to be making videos too. And they're going to post on their social media, hey, I'm building a set. Yeah, like it's crazy. That's why you guys are obsessed with tuning in. You're missing out. There's so many stuff. You're missing out on so many stuff, man. Because there's so many hundreds of videos trending, man. It's crazy. You want to watch all the videos, but there's too much videos. You have like hundreds of videos trending. You watch as much of the videos as you can for like 3 hours, and then there's even more videos. You're like, holy shit, there's so many stuff to watch. And you want to watch all of it, but you can't. It's just too much videos, man. And you feel like shit, man. I want to know every detail. I'm missing out. Yeah, you're missing out on the fun, man. That movies you're having already with the actors. Yeah, don't hate them, son. You know. Yeah. Some Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's raining again. I hate the rain. I don't like the rain. Yeah, the rain makes me feel depressed and puts me in a bad mood. I don't like rain. Yeah. 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 And now you guys understand why the Xanus stars are going to beg, man. Because they experienced that worldwide fame and they were saved. They don't want to be left behind, man. Yeah, after experiencing that worldwide fame, they know when they go back to Hollywood, they're not gonna have that fame again, and they know their movies are the side tension. They're left behind Hollywood. They don't want to be left behind Hollywood. And my company's better in Hollywood. I can pay them more than what they make in Hollywood. Yeah, yeah. And just Albert probably can negotiate for maybe his 15 million or something like that after he does this. Maybe 14, 13 million in Hollywood. I can easy for the greatest hit. I can easily pay him 20, 22 million of the royalties. I can pay him like his 13 million, 13.5, 14 million for the movie, 13.5 million for the movie. He doesn't make that in Hollywood. He'll probably make his maybe 12, 13 in Hollywood after Xanus. Because it'll take a while for Edges Alba to negotiate for his 20. Maybe 3, 4 more years after that, he can now negotiate for his 20. Because I can easily pay him more for the Great Escape, and he knows it. Hence why he's in a beg Ivan, man, can I be your Great Escape? I'm like, no, Edge yourself up. You're not good for the Great Escape. No, you are good for the Great Escape. I'm not gonna resign. You're gonna piss off a lot of actors. I mean, fuck those actors. Just resign me. I'm like, Edge yourself up, but you can't be selfish, man. Like, Ivan, man, who cares? Like, why do you care about what those other actors in Hollywood think? Who cares? Just fucking resign me, Ivan. I'm like, no, Edge yourself up. You can't be selfish. John Boyega is also good for the Great Escape too, but I'm not gonna resign him. Otherwise, he's gonna piss off a lot of actors and agents in Hollywood. It's not fair to the other actors in Hollywood. You guys have to think of other actors, but the Xanus stars don't care about the other actors in Hollywood because in Hollywood, all they care about is their own careers. They're all gonna tell me, VJ, Ivan, fuck those actors, just fucking resign us, man. We want to be your next movie. I'm like, guys, you're not good for next movie, man. But they're really gonna beg, where some of them might even cry. John Boyega, Idris Elba, Yvonne, they might cry, man. Ariana Grande, they might cry. Because they were saved and experienced that glory and fame with me and BJ. Peter Jackson might cry too. Ivan, man, can I direct your next movie? I'm like, no, Peter. Ivan, I'm willing to take a pay cut. You don't have to pay me the money you pay me for. Because Peter knows I paid him a lot of money for Xanus. Peter might tell me, Ivan, I'm willing to take a pay cut, man. I can come on board as a producer. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in that movie, man. I don't want to go back and hold on. I'm like, no, Peter, man, you're not good for the Great Escape. You were good for Xanus, you're not good for the Great Escape. Mel Gibson will beg too. Ivan, you resign him. I'm like, no, Mel. You're not good for the Great Escape. You guys are good for the festival. You're not good for the Great Escape. With Keanu Reeves and Sarah. You're not good. You can't be selfish, guys. Sarah. Yeah. So Peter will beg too. Yeah, he will. He'll beg, obviously. Mel Gibson will beg too. Yeah. Peter Jackson knows the amount of money I paid him, he'll never make that. Hollywood can't afford to pay Peter a $1.3 billion deal. That's all their money gone. They can't afford to pay Peter that. You know, I can easily afford to pay him that. I got me blows out of the water. Peter made a lot of money, and he experienced that glorious success and fame and all the perks and everything. He's in a beg too. He's like, he'll tell me, Ivan, Ivan, please, man, I don't want to go back to Hollywood, man. I want to work for you for the rest of my life. I'm like, Peter, you're not good for the Great Escape. I'm not going to be signed, man. You're too fucking expensive. I'm not willing to pay you that contract again for my next movie. You took a good chunk of MVD's money. I'm not going to overpay you and have you do me, Sarah. Ivan, I'm willing to take a pay cut. I'm like, Peter, I'm not going to be signing for the Great Escape. You're not good for the movie, man. Just fucking retire. You're getting old. Peter will be like maybe 76 by the time the movie comes out around there. I'm like, Peter, you're getting old. Just retire, man. You made, I don't know, your $800 million off the movie, whatever it is. Just retire and enjoy your life with your family. You don't even go back to Hollywood. Just retire, Peter. Which he might. Peter might hang the cleats after Xanus because he made so much money off my movie. Yeah, I made enough money off your movie. I never have to work again. I don't have to work in Hollywood, but Hollywood will be throwing him a lot of offers too. And it might throw Peter like big contracts. It's tough for Peter to turn it down. Well, Peter, I recommend you retire, man. You're getting old. You're pushing 80. I recommend you retire and just enjoy your life with your family, man. You don't want to do a thing where you're working in Hollywood in your 80s. Yeah, you're making a lot of money, but you don't really have time to spend time with your family. Enjoy your life with the money that you made. I recommend you retire and just enjoy your life for the next 15 years before you pass away, man, with your kids and your grandkids. Because Peter will have grandkids by then, right? When he does Xanus, he'll have grandkids. He'll be in the 70s when he directs Xanus, Peter. Yeah. Some Sarah. And Mel Gibson will be pushing 80. He'll be old when he directs Xanus. He'll be like 79, 78 when he directs Xanus. He'll be like 80 years old. Mel Gibson. That's why Mel Gibson will guarantee retire after Xanus, isn't it? When he directs Xanus, he'll be like in his late 70s. 78 maybe around there. He'll be like, yeah, Ivan, I'm done. I'm going to retire. You made enough money off my movie, Mel. I recommend you retire. He might retire after Xanus, Mel Gibson. Just spend time with his kids and grandkids. Yeah. Enjoy his life, right? So the work will be tough for Peter, yeah, because Peter's now in his 70s. He's not as young as he used to be in Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, he was a young guy. He was about 40 years old when he directed Lord of the Rings. Now he's in his 70s. He's 30 plus years older. The work is a bit tough for him. And you compare him and you see him in Xanus, you see him in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Peter has aged, man. Holy shit, he's older now. Yeah, he's an older dude now. He's in his 70s. But he's still working his ass off. Harder for me than he's working harder for Xanus than he even did for Lord of the Rings, but because he's older, the work is tougher for him now. Like sometimes when he directs, he has to sit on a chair, Peter, now. A lot of times because he's tired. And so I'm gonna have a directing chair for Peter. My Peter, yeah, I know Peter, I know you're getting a little bit old. If the work is a bit tough for you, I'll have a directing chair for you. You can sit down and direct while you sit down. That way it's easy for you. Obviously, he'll be standing a lot of times too, but sometimes he'll be a bit tired, and he'll sit down in his chair because he's older now. He's like in his 70s. He's getting older, right? He's I have no worry about my body's still. I'm fine, man. I can handle the work. But he'll tell me, yeah, if I'm not as young as I used to be, the work will be a bit tougher on my body. Yeah, it will. But you have to work hard, Peter. I pay you. You're what? You're 1.3 billion. You have to work hard, man. So I'm saying, I don't want you slacking off. I know work hard for me because I pay him a lot of money. Get a motor work hard for me. I pay him a lot of money too. Obviously, you see Peter, he's working really hard, even harder than he did for The Hobbit, but the work is a bit tougher on his body because now he's in his 70s. He's not as young. In Lord of the Rings, he was a young guy. He was like 40 years old. Whereas now he's in his 70s. The work is a bit tougher on his body, obviously. Well, he directs Xanus Peter Jackson, Samsara. But he'll work really hard because I pay him the big bucks. And he wants to make the best movie possible. That's why he'll work really hard. Ridley Scott's in his 80s. He's still doing pretty good. He's still directing movies. So yeah. When you're in your 70s, your body's you're old, but your body's still pretty good in your 70s. When you hit 80, that's when your body is kind of done. But Ridley Scott's in his 80s and he's still directing movies. And he can still handle the work, right? So yeah. But the work will be a bit tough for Peter because Peter's older now. He's not as young as he was in Lord of the Rings, right? But he's working harder for me because I paid him more money. Yeah, I see the documentary. I see Peter, the way Peter Jackson works in Xanus compared to Lord of the Rings. But he looks way more invested in Ivan's movie than he was Lord of the Rings. Yes, because I paid him more money. And I also gave him an unlimited budget. I make $19 million off the book. I put $2.6 million towards Xanus. I gave Peter an $866 million budget per volume, unlimited budget. $50 million towards costumes, our wise machines for the mask. $60 million towards visual effects. $60 million towards sepulting. $20 million towards extras. I gave Peter 20-something million towards the cameras and going for the cameras. I gave Peter unlimited budget. I can get the best at going for the cameras, the best drones for the high shots for the movie. When me, VJ, and Peter make the calls, man. Peter's like, Ivan, we can get the best stuff with this kind of budget, Ivan. The best visual effects equipment, everything. Like the best, the high-end stuff, the best stuff. Yeah. Yeah, for Lord of the Rings, we were limited. We had some good stuff, but we couldn't get all the best stuff because we had a limited $9 million budget, Ivan. But because you gave me $866 million per volume, it's unlimited, Ivan. Yeah. Peter's all happy. I gave him a little budget for the movie. Peter Jackson. Yeah. And if I make more than 20, I'm putting $3 billion towards Xanus, $1 billion per volume. If I put $1 billion per volume, I'm putting $600 million towards visual effects. Yeah. Mike, Peter, what kind of technology are you looking at if I put $60 million towards sepulting and like $550 million towards visual effects and visualizing? Ivan, looking at a railway technology, something that will blow James Cameron's Avatar out of the water, Ivan. And you're looking at battle scenes that will blow my Lord of the Rings wars out. Ivan, if you think my Helm's Deep war was good, think something like 3, 4, 5 times better than that, Ivan. 6 times better than that. Your arc is gonna be badass. And you're looking at like demons with that technology and the technology you put towards the mask. Because I already put a lot of money towards the mask. That's already scary enough. Think of mask better than even that Delving Animal picture I showed you. Something even more advanced than that. Yeah. Something even more advanced than that. and you have the money going towards special effects and visual effects. Peter's like, I'd be looking at demons and walking devils and demons. Peter Jackson will tell me that. I mean, so Peter will have that smile on his face. Yeah, when they interview Peter, you see Peter, he has that smile on his face. Because I paid him a lot of money. He signed the biggest contract ever for a director. And I gave him an unlimited budget. And every director's dream is to have a budget like that, right? An unlimited budget. Or why you can do whatever you want. Peter can do whatever Peter wants to do for the movie. We can afford it. Yeah, I can whatever I want to do for the war, for the world-building, for the demon, the horror, demons, and battles. I can afford it, Ivan. This is unlimited resources, Ivan. Yeah, you gave me unlimited budget, Ivan. Yeah, I know. He's all happy. $866 million per volume. He's like, holy shit, that's more than my entire budget for my 3 Hog movies I have for one movie. Yeah, I know. Like, how many blows out of water? Yeah, I mean, before you said $1 billion, yeah, $1 billion is not enough for the three movies of age. You gotta put like more. You gotta put like $2+ billion towards that, man. 2.5, 2.6. You really want to have them be devils, and you have to put a lot of money towards your movie. Yeah, it's a good investment. Peter's Ivan, it's a good investment. You're gonna make your money back. It's blind as your movie. You have it be if you pour money into the movie, you're looking at a better movie, Ivan. Yeah. If people were asking me, Ivan, what kind of budget are you giving me for the Xanus movie? I'm like, you want to know, Peter? He's like, yeah, Ivan. I'm like 2.6 billion. He's like, you're putting 2.6 billion towards the 3 volumes, and you're dividing it equally. I'm like, yeah, Peter, that's $866 million. He's like, $866 million per volume. He's like, holy shit. I tell him how much money I'm putting towards the costumes, armor, watching scenes for the mask, visual effects, set building, and extras. He's shocked. So, Ivan, you gave me an unlimited budget, man. Yeah, he's all happy to be here. You gave him unlimited budget. Which is every director's dream, right? Every director wants to sign a master. They want to make a lot of money. They also want an unlimited budget. That's every director's dream. You get paid the big bucks and you also have an unlimited budget. Yeah. I think I even more of that. I'm like, no, Peter, I'm not paying more. $800 million the film profit is enough for you, Peter. I'm not paying you more money myself. I'm being greedy. You signed your $1.3 billion deal. In Canadian money, which is 1.586 in your New Zealand money, you're walking away with like 800 something million in your bank, Peter. Stop being greedy and your agent's cut. Yeah, Peter's age, that's good for Peter Ivan. You're very generous. Peter doesn't even make this in Hollywood. Yeah, he doesn't make this in Hollywood, Peter. Some Sarah. So Peter will have a fun time working on the script and doing the consults because he knows the docting's filming us, yes, and he knows the whole world's buzzing about the movie. They're tuning into the website, the updates, Sky Source News and everything. Yeah, he's excited. He's Ivan, this is fun, man. Like, I'm having way more fun working on your movie than I did Lord of the Rings, Ivan. I know, Peter. Because I'm actually gonna film me working on the screenplay with Peter. Whereas in Hollywood they don't film the directors working on the script. They just film the making of the film. Me, I am filming the making of the film, but I'm also filming the behind the scenes of the making of the film. Yeah, like you see Peter in his hotel taking his notes, me and VJ in our house, the 17 at their house, the actors in the hotel. When the actors sign their contracts, I'm gonna film that. It's like Shark Tank, you get this music, like, yeah, sick documentary, yeah. That's why the doc will have crazy buzz too, right? The world will be excited to see the doc, obviously. Are you going to release the doc with the movie on disc? No, the documentary I'll release it online on my website for free for you guys to watch. I'm not going to charge you guys for the documentary. You watch it for free. Peter's like, Ivan, you should charge like the fans for that, man. I'm like, Peter, man, stop being greedy. Ivan, man, like, you can charge them more. You can give me a nice piece of that. I'm like, Peter, I'm not charging the fans for the documentary. The documentary, they watch it on my website for free. I'm not going to charge the fans for that. I'm already making enough money off the movie. I'm not going to be greedy. Since the documentary, I'm not going to charge you guys for that. You guys will watch it on my website. It'll be available to watch on my website. On the documentary section, yeah. How many parts will have? 3 parts. Pre-production, production, and post-production. I might film the red carpet event too. The red carpet, I'm going to film that too. Now we release after, obviously. And the game I might be releasing after the movie too. It's highly unlikely it'll be released before the movie. Maybe after the movie the game gets released. I want the game released before the movie though. To build hype for the movie. Yeah. But for the game, I want them taking scenes from the movie and putting it in the game like they did for Lord of the Rings. Hence why a good chunk of post-production has to be complete before I release the game. That way they can put scenes in the... No, the game I'll have released after the movie. Because if I take scenes from the movie and put in the game, I'm spoiling the movie for you. So the game is most likely released after the movie, guys. Yeah, after the movie. Because if you take scenes from the movie and put in the game, you're gonna spoil the movie, some of the movie for the fans, right? Hence why, yeah. Usually games are released after the movies, right? So the game, I'll release it most likely after the movie. That's why there's a lot of things to be excited for. You have the documentary, you have the movie, and you have the game after that, man. Yeah. A lot of things to be excited for. So after you finish the movie, the whole world's now buzzing about the game. A lot of fans want to play it, and a lot of fans also want to watch Rabbi's walkthrough. Rabbi's like, sign me up, fam. He's all excited, Rabbi, yeah. 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 I'm gonna get more coffee, guys. It's still raining. I hate the rain. Yeah. Well, I mean, seriously, man, when Daisy really and authorized to have a driver pay John Mayer for work, they're not playing around. No, they're not playing around. They're being very sincere, right? Like John might think they're maybe saying it as a joke, you know what I'm saying? But they're gonna let John Mayer know, no, John, we're not joking around. We need your help. Like, we need your help. Like, we're not kidding around. Like, could you please give Ivan Luigi a good word for us, man? Please, man. Please, John. Like, please. Like, they're begging. They're desperate. John's like, guys, don't worry about it. I will. He doesn't give word. He's selfish. I'm not giving word. If I asked you for word, you wouldn't give word either. Yeah, John Baker knows if he asked them for word, they wouldn't give word either. Because in Hollywood, they're all selfish people, man. They're selfish people, yeah. Sometimes. And they read my book. They know I wrote a masterpiece. And I told you, once the world reads my book, it'll finally hit their mind, yeah, if Ivan turns this into a movie, you're looking at a masterpiece. The best movie children ever made. And they're like, man, John, you're lucky. You you get to be part of that masterpiece, man. That amazing story fighting all those devil wolves and batsmen. You're fucking lucky, John. Yeah. It's lucky, John. Yeah. The victorious actor is going to beg upon Joseph for word. He's not going to give word either. He's selfish. And the Lord of the Rings actors are going to beg Andy Serkis, Carl Urban for word. Yeah. And all the A-list actors, the big guys, are going to be begging Idris Elba, Andy Serkis, Ajay Bassett. Because those guys are all bigger A-listers. Don Cheadle or Russell Crowe. I might choose Russell Crowe. If Russell Crowe is chosen, they're really going to beg him for work. Because Russell Crowe's a bigger A-lister. All the A-list actors are going to desperately beg Russell Crowe for word, but he's not going to give word. The guys who are bigger than him, he won't give word because they're very successful. They're bigger than him. He's not going to give word. Yeah. Even the big actors in Hollywood are going to beg this successful word, man. That's how crazy it is, man. But they're not going to give word to those guys. Yeah, fuck you guys. You guys brush us all aside. You make way more than us in Hollywood. And you have successful careers. I'm not going to give you guys what you guys get what you deserve. Yeah. The bigger Asians get what they deserve because they brush those actors aside too. And they're already successful in Hollywood. But even though they're already successful in Hollywood, their careers aside attention, they know I can pay them more than what they make in Hollywood. As most big A-listers make their 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 million in Hollywood. And that's it. And yet, for my movie, I can easily pay them way more than what they make in Hollywood on average, right? Yeah. That's why they're all begging and saying such a word. Even the bigger guys are begging and saying such a word. Especially Idris Elba, Andy Serkis, Ajay Bassett, Don Cheadle, or Russell Crowe. They're going to beg those guys for word. Yeah. As Russell Crowe signed a bigger deal than what the A-listers make in Hollywood. Like, Dwayne Johnson made $88 million in 2024, and then Russell Crowe signed his $100 million deal. And Russell Crowe's not even as big as Dwayne Johnson. That's why my comic blows out of the water. Dwayne Johnson's the cream of the crop in Hollywood. He made $88 million only. And yet Russell Crowe signed his $100 million deal. And he's not even close to being as big as Dwayne Johnson. That's why my comic blows out of the water. Pay them more. The actors more, I'm sorry. Yeah. Russell Crowe signed a mega deal, man. A $100 million deal, man. Fucking huge deal for the movie. Massive contract. That's why if he is chosen, he'll be shot. Like, holy shit, your comedy blows out of the water. You know, how would I make like my 20, Ivan? I know Russell Crowe, man, your comedy blows out of the water, Ivan. It's a deal. Sign me up, man. I don't even make this in Hollywood. Yeah, his agent, I'm asking to do for Russell Crowe. You're very generous, man. He doesn't even make his in Hollywood, I know. But if Russell Crowe's agent gets greedy and they want like $1 million for the promos, I'm not paying Russell Crowe $1 million for the promos. He gets his $300K. You guys are getting greedy, Samsara. You're getting greedy, yeah. You're getting greedy. You're getting greedy. It's still raining, man. I want to get my beer and smokes after this, but if it's raining, I don't want to go out in the rain, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's raining hard. You guys hear the rain? Yeah. Ivan, why don't you just let Peter write it with Fran? Because if I let Peter write it without me being involved, I'm telling you right now, man, Ivan, he'll make like all these drastic changes like he did for Lord of the Rings, man. He might have the ancestors appear in physical form. He might have VJ and the woman fighting. He might have Cornelius be a northern. He's making all these changes. I'm like, Peter, whoa, man, slow your horses, man. Why is this so different from my book? What the fuck are you doing, Peter? You're gonna ruin my story, man. And yeah. And I know if I'm involved, we'll get a better movie because I wrote the book. I know what's best for my movie. Hence why I want to be involved with Peter. Peter will help me out. I help him out. We help each other out. We write an amazing screenplay together. But I don't want you making drastic changes to my story, Peter. We can change some stuff and add a lot of stuff, but don't stick to the DNA of the story. Don't stray away from the plot like you did for Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, you made a lot of changes, Peter. I don't want you doing that for my movie. So I'm sorry. If we could change it, I'm like, Peter, man, you're pissing me off. I don't want you making drastic changes for my movie. So I'm sorry. We follow the book, man. That way you don't ruin the story. Xanus is a masterpiece. If you tamper with the story too much, you can ruin the story. And you gotta be careful about that stuff, so I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck, it's raining. After this, I want to get my beer and smokes, but man, if it's raining, then... Will you do your Ivan's go-through series today, Ivan? Maybe, or I might just do a double header. I'll do it. I'll make another video tonight. Yeah. In the afternoon, I'll make another video maybe around 4 or 5 o'clock. In the afternoon. I'm going to watch my show, and after that I might binge Andor. Or watch some other stuff, I don't know. On YouTube, right? Almost done Andor. I'm on episode 7. I binged 7 episodes. I'm on episode 7. Good show. Yeah. Ivan, who do you think Peter will tell you to choose for Maramis? Something tells me he might tell me to go for Vigo because he's biased, right? Ivan, choose Vigo. I work with him on Lord of the Rings, and I might end up choosing Vigo. We'll see what happens with Lord of the Rings. But if Vigo's agent gets greedy and his agent wants like 20 million, I'm not paying Vigo 20. Vigo's worth 40 million. He's a pretty big actor. I'm not paying him any more than 16 million. Even if he's worth 50 million by then, I'm not going to pay him any more than 16 because Maramis is not contributing as much to the role compared to some of the other actors. He's a supporting character. He's in a lot of scenes, obviously, when you read the book. But he's not as major as, like, Lithia and those other characters, right? Well, no, he's just as major, but he doesn't contribute as much to the role for the story. And as for Vigo, I'm not going any harder than 16 million for him for the film profits. I'm not going to pay him any more than 10. And I can pay him, like, 2.5 million for the game. That's a good deal for him, right? He gets $1 million too for the merch. So Vigo signed about a 30 million deal, which is like 21 million his American money. That's a good deal for Vigo. He doesn't make that in Hollywood. He makes like his 5, 6, 7 in Hollywood, right? He's like, for Lord of the Rings, I made like my $1.5 million for Lord of the Rings. Yeah, and I'm paying you a 30 million deal. It's a massive contract for Vigo. He's instantly like, and sign me up, man. I don't even make his Hollywood. Yeah, it's a massive contract for you, Vigo. But Don Cheadle's my first choice. I'm gonna go. Something tells me I'm gonna tell Peter. I think we should go for Don Cheadle, man. I think he was born to play Maramis. I can picture Maramis as a black guy. Yeah, I've been like Vigo. I can picture him as Maramis, but I picture Don Cheadle's better than Vigo for the role. I think he appears a guy. Even though I'm biased, I like Vigo. I work with him on Lord of the Rings. I don't really picture him as much as Maramis compared to Don Cheadle. Yeah. But Vigo commanded the archers in the Helm's Deep War, and that's why he's very good for Maramis. He's the captain of the archers. Except for Xanus, Vigo doesn't fight with his sword. He's a badass archer like Legolas. Yeah. Does he have daggers? No, my idea is for Maramis. This is not in the book. My idea is for Maramis. his bow, he has his like long bow and he has his arrows, and at the end of his bow he has these daggers that are attached to his bow. When he fights with his bow, he has like two daggers. You can do that. That's pretty cool with his bow and arrow. Because I'm not. That's cool. Or you can have him fight with daggers if you want. In the book, Meramis doesn't have any daggers. For the movie, you can have him fight with daggers if you want, like Legolas did in Lord of the Rings. But we'll see what happens, obviously. But Don Cheadle is my first choice. I'm going to tell Peter, I think we should go for Don Cheadle, man. Or he might tell me go for Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe will build more buzz. Yeah, Ivan, Russell Crowe will make your movie better, man. He's a big actor, he'll more buzz for your movie, Ivan. But you gotta pay him the big bucks, Ivan. Give him a nice piece of the film profits, the game. You gotta pay him a lot of money, Ivan. Yeah, people tell me that. Yeah, Peter, I'm willing to pay Russell Crowe this. Yeah, Ivan, that's a good deal for him. 100 million, not even that's a lot of money for Russell Crowe, Ivan. People tell me that. Ivan, like these actors don't make this now, Ivan. You're gonna be bulls out of water. Don't be right. You're gonna be bulls out of water. Bulls out of water, yeah, man. I'm sorry. Still raining, guys. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go upstairs and get my coffee. Back in a sec. Another coffee for myself. Hope you guys enjoying this show. Excuse the noise of the rain, right? Alrighty, guys, I'm back. Yeah, man, that's why Xanus was the best movie should have ever made, man. Like, he had a masterpiece. The actors have experienced that horror movie and fighting all the devil wolves and bats for the movie. Looking at real demons, guys. I'm not playing around. I showed you guys the pictures, right? The clips. Yeah, you're looking at even scarier than that. I'm putting 500 I don't know, 50 million towards special effects, 560 million towards special effects and visual effects, and I'm putting 250 million towards the mask and the costumes. You do the math, what kind of mask you're looking at? Devils. And you're looking at real horror, man. When I apply the visual effects and special effects, looking at demons. People would tell me, yeah, if you're looking at the most horror beings movie history, man, this is going to be a realization of horror, I know. Whereby the world might cry and they're going to feel for you and the actors, man. That's why the Xanus are lucky. They're going to be fighting those devils with me, man, in the movie. Demons and devils, yeah. Demons and devils. Yeah. Fuck, man, I left my bike outside. Yeah. Yeah. Here's you're doing a promo for your company, like Sky Source News, they interview us and we get featured on the magazines and the commercials and all that stuff. I'm like, before the videos play, I'm like, yeah, he's holy shit, I can't wait to be a part of that, Ivan. Ivan, can I have a bit more of that, Ivan? That's like $2 million of that. I'm like, no, Peter, you get 500K, stop being greedy. So Ivan, it's like Hall Reporter, Deadline, yeah, it's like Hall Reporter, Deadline, Variety. They interview us. It's Sky Source Entertainment News, and they interview us, update interviews about when the actors sign their contracts, they interview them about what it feels like to sign their contracts to be a part of the Xanus family, and they get featured on the magazines with me in the promo. It's like a catalog thing, right? You have like a 20-30 page like online promo where they interview all the major stars and Peter, me, and VJ, and the magazine pictures are featured there. You see what I'm saying? That's how it works for my magazine pictures. The magazine pictures they're featured on the catalog. They're also featured around the website. When you click on sections, you see these magazine pictures featured, that kind of stuff. They're featured on my website, which is fucking cool. And the commercials play before you watch the video trailers and all that stuff. Yeah, and they get paid for that, the actors. But if their agents want more, I'm not paying them more money. You guys ain't greedy. I'm not paying you guys more money. They ain't greedy. I'm sorry. Yeah. Please, Ivan, can I give it more than that, Ivan, for the promos? I'm like, no, Peter, you get 500K. Stop being greedy, man. I'm not going to pay you more money, man. If I pay you $1 million, Peter, for the promos, you rip me off. I'm overpaying you, you rip me off, man. 500K is good enough money for you, Peter. Stop being greedy. Ivan, it's a deal. I don't even make it. In Hollywood, sometimes I'm going to get paid for that stuff. Yes. In Hollywood, sometimes you don't even get paid for that stuff, man. I'm not. Ivan, your company's top notch. It's better than Hollywood. I know, Peter. It's better than Hollywood. Ivan, I can't wait to be featured on the magazines with you and your wife, Ivan. I know, Peter. Yeah. Well, you'll be working really hard in the movie. Oh, yeah. I'll be pouring my blood, sweat, and tears into the movie, man. Working, yeah. A lot, man. Yeah. I work hard because I want to make the best movie possible. At the same time, I know I'm getting paid a lot of money for it. Yeah, VJ. My VJ sweetie, man, I need you to really, really work hard for me. Work really hard during the project. I need you to help me out, man. I haven't helped me out. No, VJ, like, I need you helping me out with the concert arts, and she helps me out a lot. Considering what I fucking did for her, man. Yeah, man. After what I did for you at VG, like, it's because of me, you're living this model life with me. I got you to Hollow and you see the light. I need you to help me and Peter with the consoles. I'll help you, man. Don't worry about it. I'll work hard. I'll work really hard. Like, VG, don't forget that, like, once this dirty work is done, we're going to get paid the big bucks for it. Right? We're going to make our billions off the movie merchant game. We work hard, we get rewarded for it. And VG works really hard. She helps me out with the consoles. You know what I'm saying? She helps me and Peter with the business goals. She's working hard, man. I'm working hard. Peter's working hard. Yeah. Yeah. So, Zara? Yeah. Yeah. So how much will you pay Eric Rezahaki? If I make 19 million off the book, I'll pay them their 30,000 bonus, and then they get 250,000 salary for 2 years. So 250K the third year, 250K the fourth year, and then another 30,000 bonus. So Eric Rezahaki get 560,000 for 2 years of work. That's like 300 plus thousand after taxes. I don't know. 500,000 after taxes is 300K. So 560 is like about 340,000 after taxes. So they can buy their 600,000 house. So if you pay them 200K, they can buy maybe a 400,000 house. 500, 600,000 they can afford it, but it's a bit more pricey. If you pay them 250K, they can even buy a 600,000 house. You make 340,000 after taxes. Easy put a $50,000 down payment on your $600,000 house, and they can pay it off in 20 years, right? After the 20 years, they'll pay off the house. Yeah. If I make more than 20, I'll pay them 300K, 660,000, which is 400 plus thousand after taxes, right? And with that money, they can even get a 700,000 house now. If they make 660,000, they can afford a 700,000 house. 800, 900,000 they can even afford, but that's a big cut on their budget. They might struggle a little bit to pay their bills. Chances are they're gonna get a 500, 600, 700,000 house, 650,000 house, a nice house, man. Eric Rezaki. They're the boss over the kitchen, but they're not the boss over the 7 team, and they're not the boss over me and BJ. You guys can't boss me around anymore, right? I'm the boss over you guys. Oh, yeah, we can't boss Simon around anymore. He's the boss over us. Yes, I am. I'm paying you your salary, and it's because of me you're living this amazing life. You have to listen to me, man. You can't boss me around anymore like you do at Home 40. You're not the boss over me. And they know it. Yeah, we can't boss Simon around anymore. We have to listen to him. Yes, I'm the boss. You guys are the boss over the kitchen, but you're not the boss over me and BJ, right? We're the boss over you. You have to listen to us, yeah. But they're the boss over the kitchen, Eric Rezahaki. And Eric has to train Rezahaki how to make all the food. Because they're going to be making luxury food. He has to train them. Eric knows how to make dessert, all that stuff. He trained under Alvin. Hence why, Eric, I need you to train them. Yeah, I've not trained them. Yeah, you have to train them how to make everything. And he trains them and they become amazing chefs, Rezahaki from my company. I'm Sarah. They get their own chef hats. They get their chef jacket. with their name on it, the title head chef, and they have their chef hats. Eric Rizahaki, yeah, and they have the nice Sky Source Entertainment jacket. My company name right here. Yeah. And they'll work really hard because I'm paying them a lot of money. Yeah. They don't have to do as much work, but they still have to work, right? Like, yeah, you guys are the boss. You don't have to mop. You don't have to do the order, but you're in charge of keeping track of the order. They're gonna give you the paper. You have to sign the paper, and you have to keep track of all the food that came in. You guys are responsible for that, but you don't have to do the order. You can have the other guys do the order. See what I'm saying? You can have the other guys do the order, but you have to keep track of what came in. And you also have to help with cleaning, guys. You don't have to mop and sweep the building, but you have to help with cleaning. I want you guys cleaning too. I don't want you just standing there. I don't pay you $250K or $560,000 or $660,000 to slack off. You have to work hard. I know I have to work about work hard, and they work hard for me, man. Because I'm paying them a lot of money. I'm paying them the big bucks. Eric was a hacker getting paid. Yeah. Yeah. They actually, I don't know, you see them in The Great Escape. In Xanus, you see them, the docking films them saying goodbye to their families in their apartment. And in The Great Escape, they bought, like, I don't know, a $650,000 house, a nice fucking house in Elmer Gatineau. I'm going to have the dock team fly to their house and interview them. And you see their new house, and they have nice cars, like the Mercedes-Benz and, like, BMW, SUV, a Lexus, they have Infiniti, nice fucking cars. They have, like, a convertible BMW or a convertible Benz. They have nice cars. They're rich now. Holy shit, man. Ivan changed your life. Eric Rezahaki are fucking rich. Yeah, they have nice fucking houses, man. Like a $650,000, $700,000 $600,000 house. Yeah, which is a nice fucking house in Elmer Gatineau, right? It's not the 17's house and me and BJ's house, but it's a nice fucking house. You guys are like, holy shit, man. Ivan changed your life. They're fucking rich now. Yeah, they're rich now. It's gonna be weird for me because I remember when they were average people working at Coco Fruity, and now they're rich, man. I changed their life. They're rich people now. They're fucking rich. They're not multi-millionaires, but they're upper class. They're part of the 1%. If you make your 300K, 250K, you're part of the 1%. You're rich. You're not a multi-millionaire, but you're rich, man. They're making a really good living. Like, they're rich people now. Yeah, I changed their life. Their family's life too. They're fucking rich. They can pay for their kids' school now, right? With the money I pay them, they can easily pay for their university easily, no problem. And don't forget, they also get their tax returns. And if you make $250K, $300K, you're pulling in your like $20,000 in tax returns around there, $25K in tax returns, $30,000 in tax returns. They're making a lot of money, man. They also get their tax money too, right? That's why they're now rich. They're living a great life, obviously. That's why they might cry when I offer them that contract. Oh, Ivan, thank you, man. Because they immigrated from Afghanistan to Canada to live to live a better life, and now they're living the rich life in Canada, in a first world country. Because it's one thing to get rich in a third world country; it's another thing to get rich in a first world country. It's very tough to get rich in a first world country like Canada and the States. That's why a lot of immigrants from other countries, they come to Canada and the States to live a better life. But it's tough to make a great living in this world, man. As most people don't make 200, 250, 300K. Most people will be lucky to pull in 100K at most in their life, 80K at most. Yeah, that's why the Coco Fruity boss will beg them, man, hey man, can you tell Ivan if he needs another head chef or something like that? Yeah, but I only need 3 head chefs. I don't need any more than 3 head chefs. Yeah. But Resident Hacky most likely won't tell the Coco Fruity boss they're working for me. They'll just tell them I can't work here anymore. I got another job. But they're not going to tell the Coco Fruity boss they're working for me. But the Coco Fruity boss will know. Yeah, Ivan offered them a job, obviously. And he'll feel like shit. He'll be envious, obviously. He's like, why not? Like, why can't you work anymore? Yeah, I got another job. It pays more, and that's all they're going to tell them. Yeah. Yeah. And Tony, I'll pay him $300K for 2 years. $150K salary, I'll pay Tony. That's $100,000 after taxes, right? For Tony, right? $95,000 after taxes, whatever it is. Yeah, it's a good paycheck for Tony. He gets $150K the third year, $150K the fourth year as my dishwasher. Tony, that's a good deal for Tony. Yeah, that way he gets paid. He's not making as much as Reza and Hacky and Eric, but he's getting paid a lot of money. You make $300K for 2 years. Tony can buy a $400,000 house in Quebec, right? A nice fucking house. He can get his Charger car. Yeah, he's living a great life. He's rich too now, Tony. Yeah. Yeah, you're looking at amazing food from my buffet. Right? You're looking at amazing food. That's why the hard actors are going to work really hard for me. Because while they're working in production, they're getting their fat check. And I'm also spoiling them with an all-you-can-eat buffet for breakfast, dinner, and dessert. So instead of having breakfast, lunch, dinner, have breakfast, dinner, and dessert. I can't have breakfast, lunch, dinner because you need to film. When you film a movie, you have to film for hours. Like, I'll be filming a good 12 hours a day. So what I'll do is, around like 9 o'clock, filming starts around maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. We film until like 9:30, and then everyone eats breakfast for 2 hours. But after that, we have to film for another maybe 4 or 5 hours. Because you got to film a lot. You have to film a lot of footage when you make a movie. And around 4, it's dinner. So instead of having lunch, just have dinner at like 4:30. And everyone films till like maybe 9 at night. And after that, we have dessert. And for dessert, I'll give everyone maybe a 1 hour, 45-minute break. And after that, we film for maybe another 2-3 more hours. Around 12 o'clock, everyone goes to bed. Because you got to film for at least 10, 11, 12 hours a day when you film a movie, right? You have to film a lot of footage. That's why it's best to just do breakfast and you skip lunch. Your breakfast is pretty much like your brunch. It's like your breakfast and your lunch. And then around like 4:30, everyone eats the dinner. It's better that way, right? Yeah. Because you have to film. You have to film, yeah. Piers Ivan, yeah. Just do breakfast, dinner, and dessert, yeah. At nighttime, everyone eats dessert. Like cheesecake, apple pie, apple crisp, strawberry pie, blueberry pie, brownies. You have your white cake, your chocolate cake. You know what I'm saying? I'll have New York cheesecake, strawberry, and caramel. And you have your ice cream, and you also have your fruits and your yogurt, that kind of stuff, yeah. Because not everyone likes eating the sweets. So it's good to have like your fruits with your yogurt too for dessert too. I'll have fruits and I'll have yogurt. You can have your fruits with your yogurt, your fruits with your ice cream. Yeah. Some sour. Yeah. The rain stopped. I don't know if it stopped. I don't know. I want to get my beer and smokes. Yeah. Almost done here, guys. Talk for now in 3 minutes. No, I seriously, man, what's your advice to aspiring authors? Practice your writing. The number one thing is practicing your writing, man. You gotta keep writing. Yeah. It took me one one book to hold my craft. Whereas for some people, it might take them maybe 4 or 5 books, 4 or 5 short stories to hone their craft. But just keep writing, and that's how you get better as a writer. That's how you get better. And it doesn't hurt to read the grades. But if you're not that avid of a reader, then practice your writing. That's number one. You got to keep practicing your writing. It doesn't hurt to watch Brandon Sanderson's creative writing lectures on YouTube. It'll help you out a lot. And the number one thing is keep writing. You got to keep practicing. That's how you practice your writing. And stop trying to wow the reader with your English literature. Just tell a good story, man. Stop trying to wow. Focus on telling a good story, less on trying to wow the reader with your English language. Nobody cares how good your English writing is. They're reading your book. They care how good your story is, man. Hence, writing a book. Your job as an author is to entertain the reader with your story, not try to wow them with your English literature. And that's what a lot of these writers don't get. I read their work, and you can tell that they're trying to wow the reader with their knowledge of the English literature. That's not how you tell a story, man. Telling your story is wowing the reader with your story, with your characters, with your world building. It's not trying to wow the reader with your English literature. And don't be too over descriptive. Don't info dump for any more than a page and a half, guys, man. If you info dump for 3-4 pages, you're gonna bore the reader, man. They're gonna DNF your book, man. I'm telling you right now, man. They're gonna DNF your book. You're gonna bore the reader. Don't do that. Samsara. Just my best advice is just be simple. Have a mind of a child. Be a simple writer and just tell a good story. Even though you don't have the best English words, if your stories are entertaining, you're gonna entertain the reader. As when you read my book, guys. I'm a very simple writer. I don't use all these big words when you read my book, right? And yet it's more entertaining than all these other novels, all these other manuscripts that you read. Because I have the heavenly gift, and I know how to entertain the reader. I know the magic trick. I know how to entertain the reader. Yeah, Ivan, when I read your descriptions, you don't use those big words, and yet your story's so entertaining. Yes, because I focus more on telling the story, less on trying to wow the reader with my knowledge of the English literature. And that's what a lot of aspiring authors do when they write fantasy. They try to wow the reader with their amazing poetic English words, but they think they're telling a good story, but they're not. You're not telling a story when you do that, right? There's nothing wrong with info dumping for a good maybe page and a half, but don't do it too much whereby you info dump for 3, 4, 5 pages. You're gonna bore the reader, guys. I'm telling you right now, man, if you keep info dumping the reader, you're gonna bore the reader. Just be simple and tell a good story. And practice your writing. You gotta keep writing, man. Some people might get it on after their first try. Some people might take maybe 3, 4 short stories to hone their craft a bit more, right? You gotta just keep practicing your writing. That's how you get better. Because when I wrote my first book, The Islamic Story, that story was not that great. It was pretty good, but it wasn't as good as Xanus, man. And that's how I honed my craft. I wrote 30,000 words of that book. And that's how I hone my craft in writing. Yeah, I got better. Samsara. Yeah. So what's your best advice? Practice your writing. Just keep writing, man. And it doesn't hurt to watch creative writing lectures like Brandon Sanderson's lectures on YouTube. I'll help you out a lot too. Samsara. Yeah. And try to be simple, man. Just don't be too overcomplicated, too over descriptive with your writing. You can confuse the reader and you can bore the reader with your info dumps. Just be simple and write a good story. Stop trying to wow the reader with your English literature, guys. That's what a lot of these guys don't get, man. They don't understand, yeah. I'm not kidding around. I read stuff on Fantasy Writers Reddit. Most of the manuscripts I read there, you can tell those aspiring authors, they try their best to wow the reader with their English literature, and they think they're telling a good story when they're not. Like, nobody cares how good your English is in a story. They care about how good your story is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, they actually think they're telling a good story by using all these big English words. And sometimes when they use all these big English words, it can be confusing to the reader. When I read it, it's a bit confusing. And yeah, it's beautifully written, but the story's not going anywhere. It's not pacing well. It's boring. Because you also got to keep your story pacing. The number one thing, if you want to have an entertaining story, you got to keep the story pacing. And that's why I recommend you throw in climaxes and foreshadowing in each of your chapters. And that's how you keep your story pacing and you keep the reader turning the page. As in my book, all my chapters have foreshadowings and climaxes in it. Either a big climax or you have foreshadowing hints in it. But all my chapters that I read, there's always a big climax in the chapter. That's why my stories are entertaining, and I know how to keep the story pacing, keep the reader turning the page, because I'm a creative genius. Obviously, I have the gift from the heavens. Some Sarah. Yeah. 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 And you got to really ask yourself this question, all you aspiring authors. You got to really, really ask yourself this question: Do you really want to? Do you really want to do this for a living? Because writing books is a lot of work, and you have to be consistent. And when you if you want to be a writer, if you want to be a full time, most writers do it part time. They have full time jobs and they write part time on the side because most books don't sell that many copies. You'll be lucky to make your $1,000, $2,000-$3,000 writing a book, right? So yeah, if you want to do it full time, you got to make at least your 40,000 a year, 50,000 a year. You want to write a book full time. So if you self publish, you sell your book for $25, $30. You only have to sell a good maybe 2,000 copies to write full time, right? Which is doable. You just gotta promote your book, right? Let's say you sell your book for $25 and you sell 2,000 copies. You made 50 grand. But don't forget, Amazon or Lulu takes a cut of that. You pull in your maybe $38,000-$40,000. You can write full time. Yeah. Obviously, but you really got to promote your book if you self-publish. And if you traditionally publish, you got to sell more copies. Obviously, if you traditionally publish, you got to sell at least maybe 5,000 copies, 4,000 copies to write full time. But most authors are part-time writers. Only the ones who sell a lot of copies are full time. But most books don't sell that many copies. Hence why the writing business is very difficult, man. It's even more difficult than even being an actor, right? Breaking into the writing industry is more difficult than even breaking into the acting industry. Yeah, it's more difficult. Because writing is telling a story. You have to be good at entertaining the reader. Whereas acting, you just have to be a pretty good actor, but you don't have to write a story, right? Yeah, breaking it into the book business is more difficult than even the acting business. Because at least for acting, you have C-list. There's also C-list companies too, right? Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, what path is better for the author? It just depends on your goals and your needs. If you're poor and you can't afford to hire an editor and all that stuff, then traditional publishing is obviously the best path for you. Because traditional publishing doesn't cost you any money at all. You don't have to pay a dime for traditional publishing. You just have to find an agent, which can take time. And the agent finds you a book publishing deal. And you don't have to pay for your book. The publishing houses handle all the costs for you and everything. Your editing, your book cover, they handle all that for you. But you do have to promote it even if you traditionally publish. Yeah. Whereas if you have some money lying around, then self-publishing is obviously better for you. Self-publishing is more expensive than traditional publishing. Self-publishing, you have to do the work yourself. You have to pay for your editing, you have to pay for your cover design, but you keep 100% of the rights of your novel. The novel is yours. You don't have to worry about and you make more money, but you don't get the public eye fame. You might get YouTube interviews here and there, but you're not going to be featured on a Jimmy Fallon show, Jimmy Kimmel show, book signing sessions on a magazine. You're not going to be featured on that if you self-publish. But you make way more money. So if you want to be more simple but richer obviously, then self-publishing is a path for you. And you want to control your novel, then self-publishing is a path for you. If you want to be famous and have your book at Barnes and Noble's chapters in Canada and all stuff, and be featured on magazines, on Jimmy Fallon show and all stuff, and have all these interviews in front of large crowds, and traditional publishing is a better path for you. But traditional publishing, you lose control. They're controlling writing your novel, and you don't make as much money. Yeah, the max you're gonna make traditional publishing is like 50% of the pie, and the publishing houses take the 85% of the pie, man, because they're greedy. The traditional publishing houses, fucking greedy pigs, man. Yeah, they take like the majority of the money, man, and they control your novel. You're their puppet, obviously. But if you want to be famous, traditional publishing is the best path for you. And if you don't have much money, then traditional publishing is the best path for you, obviously. Because for traditional publishing, you don't have to pay for anything. The publishing houses handle everything for you. But there's a catch. Even though they handle all the work for you, you lose the controlling right of your novel, and they edit, they tamper with you. If they want to change your plot, change your characters, they can do that. If they want to change the title of your book, your cover, they can change that. And if they tell you to write a 3-book series, you got to write a 3-book series. Yes, you're famous and you're in the public eye, which is cool. Your book is at bookstores and everything, but you only get like your 4%, your 5%, your 7%, your 15% of the money. You see what I'm saying? And don't forget, your agent takes like 50% of your money too. Don't forget that, right? So let's say you only make 7% of the royalties. Your agent's taking 50%. And I heard the rates are even higher now. Sometimes agents even take 20-25% of your money in traditional publishing. They take a piece of your 7%. So you got to think about that for a second. The only better thing about traditional publishing, it doesn't cost you anything, and your book looks more professional and you're famous in the public eye, but there's a catch. You lose the controlling right of your novel and you make way less money, but you get your public eye fame. Traditional publishing, obviously, you keep 100% of the rights to your novel. You maintain control of your novel. You make way more money. You make the majority of the money. The majority of the money goes to you. But the catch is that you have to do everything yourself, and it'll cost you a bit more money. You have to get your book proofread, edited, and design your cover. You have to pay for that. But you own, and you don't get the public eye fame. You'll get YouTube interviews here and there, which is pretty cool, but you're not going to get the public eye fame like traditional publishing. So there's pros and cons to both sides. I recommend self-publishing, guys, but if you're someone who's very poor, you don't have enough money lying around, then traditional publishing is always the better path for you. It just depends on your goals and your needs, right? But the truth is, most authors just want to traditionally publish. Yeah, I want to be a famous author. I want my book to look professional and be at bookstores and everything. Yeah, if you want your book to be at bookstores and everything, traditional publishing is the better path for you, obviously. Whereas self-publishing is online, on Amazon, Lulu, InstaSpark, whatever it's called. Yeah, obviously. But because I have the keys and I have a big audience, it's common sense. I'm obviously going to self-publish Xanus. As to traditional publishing, I have to sell to the gates. I'm not selling out. I'm self-publishing my book Xanus on Lulu. And I have the keys. I can market it myself. And I get 80% of the money on Lulu compared to the 15% I make if I traditionally publish. Yeah. But because my book is number one on the charts and it'll sell hundreds of millions of copies, I don't know, my 700 million copies, I will guarantee get interviewed in front of large people will want to interview me because my book is number one. Yeah, if your self-publishing book sells hundreds of millions of copies, then chances are you might get some big interviews at events if it sells a lot of copies. But I told you, most books don't sell that many copies. They sell maybe a couple hundred or a few thousand copies. See what I'm saying? Yeah, because guaranteed I will go on a book tour for Xanus. I guaranteed will go on a book tour for Xanus. I'm going to have my email information. People are going to want to interview me around the world about my book because my book is the best fantasy novel written. I sold hundreds of millions of copies. I beat out J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, so people will guarantee want to interview me around the world. Obviously. And that's why me and Vijay have to buy that jet right away, because chances are people are going to want to interview me there right away. Obviously, we buy the jet right away. VJ flies with me on the jet with the interview me around the world. VJ will not be a part of the interview. She didn't write my book, but she'll be in the audience watching or behind stage cheering me on, right? Yeah. Obviously. I might not go book touring, but I might go book touring. We'll see what happens, obviously, right? Yeah. Yeah, Ivan, thank you, man. Thank you for giving us the advice on writing a novel and what path is better for an author. Yeah, it just depends on your needs and your goals, man. If you want to be famous like George R. R. Martin and all that stuff, Have venues have all these interviews, all these venues, be featured in magazines, have Hollywood Reporter and all these companies, all these online websites talk about your book and everything, then traditional publishing is obviously the better path for you. But if you want to be more simple but richer, then self-publishing is a better option for you. If you're more of a simple guy, you just want to have YouTube interviews here and there, and you have your niche fan base, and you're more simple, then self-publishing is a better path for you. But self-publishing, you don't really get the public eye fame that much, but you make more money. So would you rather make more money and be more simple, or would you rather make less money and be famous? It just depends what path is better for you. If you like the fame more than the money, then traditional publishing is better for you. If you like the money more than the fame, then self-publishing is the best path for you. Self-publishing, you don't get as much of the fame, but you make more money. You're richer, but you're more of a simple author. Whereas traditional publishing, you don't make as much money, but you get more of the fame, the public eye fame. And your book looks more professional, and you don't have to pay a dime for traditional publishing. The houses take care of all the costs for you. But they're greedy pigs, the publishing houses. They take like 85%, 90%, 93% of your money, man, of the money of your book. And they control your book, man. You don't control your book anymore. Traditional publishing, you don't control your book. The publishing houses own your book. So your audiobook rights, your film rights, your international rights, that's all in the hands of the publishing houses. Whereas self-publishing, all those rights are they're yours. Yeah. They're yours, and you control the right of your novel. Samsara. That's why I'm self-publishing, because for Zane, I already have a big audience, I have the keys. And what? I self-publish, the Zane's brand is 100% mine, and I maintain the rights for the novel. And my audio rights, my international rights, my film rights, all mine. Game rights, all mine. Because I own the Zane's brand. And I take 80% of the money, and Lulu takes her 20%. So compare the 80% I'm making when I self-publish compared to the 15, 10, 7% I make if I traditionally publish. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it comes down to money and fame. Yeah, if you're more about the money, you want to make more money, you want to be richer, but you're not as famous. Self-publishing is a better path for you. If you're less about the money, you're more about being famous and having good critical reception in the public eye, then traditional publishing is a better path for you. It just depends on your goals and your needs. Samsara? Yeah. Anyways, guys, I talked for almost 2 hours, man. Holy shit, an hour and 15 minutes. That's good enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. I'm going to call this video the Xanus Movie, Advice to Aspiring Authors, and what path is better, traditional publishing or self-publishing. This is Adam. I'm signing off. Peace. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. Peace out, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. Stay tuned for my video later on in the evening or afternoon later on today. Peace out, guys.